Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and I'm passing through Rome, Georgia on my way south, and I found something interesting here I wanted to video. I did one of these in Kentucky several weeks ago. When I find a really old one that have some really interesting monuments, I like to take a look around. So I'm going to show you this one here in near downtown Rome. I have to be careful about using this word, which YouTube does not like, and have demonetized my videos of some that I've done. Here's some of their rules for coming into the property, and it says gates open 9 to 6. However, there's no fence around. You can come in, I guess, 24 hours a day, because the gates is just there and there to prevent cars from coming in at night. It's in a residential neighborhood with homes just right across the street here. I guess they like it here. There is some traffic, but other than that, quiet neighborhood. These trees can really uproot a grave, or at least the monuments. This one is from 1919, but right beside it is one 1953, 1972, 1980, and this is 1932. So to me, an open question is which came first, the graves or the trees. And look how huge this one is. I saw a padlock on that main gate I showed you in my opening, but here is an entrance that cars can go in where there is no gate. So I don't get what locking the other gate does. It is all very open. There are no fences around here. And right on the corner here, it tells about, they actually have an app where you can download to get a voice narration with historic photos and intriguing stories. So if you really want to get into the details, that would be nice to do. And right down on the corner here also are two big monuments. The Daughters of the Confederacy. And this one right next to it is dedicated to the women of the Confederacy. And here shows a woman assisting a soldier with some water. An angel of mercy. Well, let's take a look at the rest of it here. They've got three, I guess these are Gatling guns. And this first one is of just a private soldier. However, this says, it's the last of the nation's dead to return to his native soil. And it is on quite a bit of a hill to climb here. Look what happened here. This tree was just ripped up from the ground here. I wonder if it just uprooted itself or if they did it intentionally. It came down right on top of some monuments here. And here they have sawed it off. They put this tree trunk underneath it, so obviously it was planned so it wouldn't actually destroy these monuments. That only knocked one over right here. All right, well, let's look around further. This is a life-size carving of this man. It says Charles Wall, 1937. It does have a paved road going through the property, so you can drive through here in a car. This is near the top of the hill, and right over here is a pretty well protected plot. It's also right beside the river that goes through town. This is at the very top of the hill in a circle. A couple of motorcyclists have come up here. This is very hard to read, but here's a plaque you can read, which is about the cemetery itself. Seems to me like they could do better than this. Here's another shot of the river. Wonder what this angel is thinking about there. This is one of the larger monuments. Henry Dick, buried 1866, and here is his wife, made it to 1892. Here's a really tall one for the O'Neill family. This whole plot is various family members. Well, here's a big tree. Looks like it's getting, they buried really close to that tree, which is not a good idea. Now this one says 1861, so it could be that the tree grew later and came really close to uprooting some of these monuments. Here's an interesting one that dates back to 1903, and there's, looks like there are husband and wife there, and here's a really big square one. Here's the front of it, the Branson family. There are all sorts of monuments here. There's an odd-shaped one. I always wonder about these that have statues. I wonder if it's just a random statue, or if the statue is of someone in particular that means something to them. This building is right in the middle of the property. It doesn't say what it is. I looked in the windows and there's some furniture and a desk. It may be an office of the caretaker. Here's another tree that died and was uprooted. Looks like it's been there a long time. There's plants growing around it. Must have been at a time when they weren't really taking care of the place well. And here's a bunch of logs that are just sitting in between monuments that they sawed off. That's not good. So many of these need to be cleaned and people just don't care to do it. I just saw some kind of an animal like a raccoon or something go down into there. I hope they're watering and taking care of these trees, or there could be several more just die and rot and fall down on their own. I bet the reason why they built it on the hill like this is because this was property that nobody wanted, because it is on such a steep hill. So why not use it for a cemetery where nobody's going to complain about it? This looks like a military section with the really consistent monuments. And right at the top of it is this monument that says John R. Hart, erected by comrades and friends, 1886. Here's a nice one, although it's really tarnished. It says our parents. And the death dates are 1873 and 1879. And I guess several other family members. These white ones that I assume are marble have lasted much better condition. The Horn family, 1884. Well, this is a really interesting cemetery with a lot of them from the 1800s. Seems like most of them are early 1900s. I just noticed this one with a big ball on top. Wonder what that means. Here's another nice plot for the May family. I like these. This style here that covers the entire grave, those are called ledgers. And that's the kind that I've already had built for myself and placed on my grave site in Texas, and already inscribed with my epitaph that I came up with myself. One problem with cemeteries is that they don't have parking lots. You generally have to park on the street. I kind of lucked out and found a spot right there. Well, I don't know about you, but I find places like this to be interesting. If you do, whenever you go through a large city, or sometimes even small cities, look and see if they've got a really old cemetery. Good day, folks.